Hey, we're live. Presentation power number 16 behind a video camera with Danielle Turner of Velvet Pumpkin fame. I'm so excited to have Danielle here. And of course, we have the fabulous Penny Petty, who is graciously here as well. Now, Danielle is a videographer. In fact, she started me on this journey of doing videography. She videotaped one of my first seminars, and it was just an amazing experience. And then I started with it. But I thought, there we are with speakers, trainers, facilitators, hangout hosts, workshop leaders, and we get these videos. We don't know what to do with them. What do we do? How do we do it? And I don't know about you, but I sure as hell don't know how to edit properly. I kind of have an idea, and so I thought I would invite Danielle Turner here, who is just superb at shooting them and editing them and finding the relevant pieces. And I want to know some of the secrets, because there's some things that we get so much video now. How do we make it all work? How do we get it to go? So, Danielle, why don't you welcome and say hi to everyone and introduce yourself and tell us something about how you became a videographer.
Well, how long is the show? It's really I had spent a lot of time at Kodak and done a lot of speaking myself as a trainer, right, as a facilitator, and we wanted to move all of the live training into video format so that it was canned, and we weren't sending trainers all over the world, which I was one of them. And I was the one that volunteered to go back to school, learn about digital film and video making. I had an actor's background before Kodak anyway, so it all fascinated me. And then Kodak just went kaboom and imploded, and I took my beautiful severance package and went off on my own and took all this new knowledge for digital filmmaking and realized that there's a lot of people out there that could use it, with the internet being as powerful as it is, and it continues to grow to be more powerful. And I was right. I mean, it's just amazing how things have exploded as far as video goes, and they're now making video online even more interactive, which we'll have to choose another show to talk about that. I don't mean interactive as in click a button here and click a button there, or I don't even mean interactive as in live shows like this one where people can participate with questions and stuff. I'm talking about being able to literally use video as a product catalog and all kinds of interesting ways in which to communicate interactively with video online. It's just amazing. So I'm in love with this subject matter, absolutely in love with it.
So yes, yesterday, and I want to acknowledge to everyone that I'm a little spacey brained yesterday, like most facilitators and trainers and speakers. I left early yesterday, took a flight, drove to the hotel, checked in with the conference organizers, and then Danielle met me there at the hotel, and I did two two um, two shows back to back, two-hour presentations, and so when what goes through your brain when you're shooting and you're seeing somebody up there doing their thing, getting excited, uh, you know?
Yeah, you never get to see what I usually instruct keynote speakers, because you're such a pro that I don't need to give you the little words of advice that I usually give. I shoot a lot of keynotes, and the one thing that I notice that the majority of speakers like to do is they like to forget the camera is there. And the camera is your audience just as much as the live people that are sitting in those chairs. And imagine doing a keynote speech and trying your best to forget the audience is there. It would be a bomb. And so you need to remember that the camera is there. I don't mean to have to look at the camera. In fact, I prefer that you don't. But you have to have the energy that acknowledges the cameras in the room, because that's an audience of 5,000, 10,000, even if it's just 5 or 500 people. It doesn't matter. You need to have that energy that recognizes the camera, and the camera picks it up. I don't know what it is about that little black box, but it picks up energy like nothing you can imagine. And so that's the first thing. They all want to ignore it because they're so afraid of that little black box. I want them to not be afraid of it.
Well, even when I'm doing a hangout, it's kind of, I know that the center of the camera is right there where my finger is pointing, but to feel natural, I can't focus on it. I can't get in on it, and so it's you know, it's like a menacing eye sometimes,
Yeah.
especially on a day like today where my brain is squirrely. You know, I mean, it's you know, and technology is being a bit weird today. I'm getting messages that you're not showing up on the screen, and that we've only just started, you know, mid sentence and stuff like that. And the odd thing is that is technology. No, we're using, you know, a third party. We're using Google. We're using Webinar Jam to do this, and it's all software interactive over the internet. But when you do it live, you have control over that. You have some things. So what's the number one? So you've told us one tip, which is don't forget that the camera is there, but don't stare at it. What's the second tip? What's the other thing that you experience about presenters or keynoters?
I guess the best tip that I can give them is to I don't know. I guess the best tip that I can give them is to try their darndest to not be nervous, and to not should I say not to give a damn about what the audience thinks about them. Just get up there and do what you say it best. Be authentic, right? Just get up there and be real and just be yourself up there, because you can look really stiff. I've shot so many keynote speeches, and the speakers are so disappointed in what we've captured, not because of the camera or the color or even the sound quality. That's all there, but they're so disappointed in themselves. Oh, this is what I could suggest. Before they know they're going up on the stage and they know this one's going to be shot, maybe practice in front of a mirror with the camera running. Practice in front of the camera on your own. Put your kids in the living room, make them your audience, and do 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your speech, something, so that you can literally watch yourself. You have to watch yourself on camera. You have to see what you're doing. We all have tics. We all have little nervous little, yeah. And you got to get rid of them. You have to get rid of them. Even the tick is, the shoulders are so stiff. That was one woman I shot, I don't know, a few months ago, and the shoulders were like this. As she's walking, she had no idea that she's walking on the stage with, you know, I don't know, heavy shoulders, right?
You know, I do a 2-3 day video workshop, which
Yes.
is, we work on those tics and strange things, because what happens is speakers are in their head. So they're in their head, but they're trying to express at the same time, trying to give information at the same time. So I bring them into a workshop, not to teach them video camera techniques per se, but to give them the opportunity to see what the audience sees, you know, what it looks like up there. No.
They need to know that. It's essential. And not only, here's the third one, not only what they look like, but also what they sound like. Because lots of times they'll go, the little tick, and so blah, 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 and so blah, blah, and it is a pain in the behind to have to cut those out. And
Who's behind?
So you got to make sure that you're audible and clean with the way you speak and clear as well. So that's the third thing, and those two you can do together, because once you're recording video, you're also recording audio, and you can hear your little slurs or spits or ticks in the tongue and all those ugly things. It's good to get them cleared out because they're also ugly for the live audience too, right?
Well, actually, the live audience doesn't. If they're intently focused on the topic, engaged with you, they don't notice it because they're busy learning. But the camera notices it at a level that nobody else notices.
Yeah.
The hardest.
The microphone's right there. The microphone's right there, and it picks up everything, right?
I remember a couple of videos that we shot, and I was so at it that we never used them because, I think we saved them as outtakes, which
I think those outtakes what you're talking about.
Rather colourful expressions. Penny's heard my colourful expressions when I get upset with myself. And so,
this is what I love about you, is that you really do laugh at yourself. And I think that's a...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, well, if you can't laugh at yourself up on stage, if you can't have a good time at it, you might as well not do it. And both my guests are frozen solid, so I guess I've got to keep going. Oh, there they are.
I was just waiting.
Oh,
I think Danielle may be a little bit.
Yeah,
she should be able to
she's
click
frozen.
Yeah,
she is. Okay, so Penny, what were some of the? We are having fun with technology day today. It's not Friday the 13th.
Hey, that's a lucky day. I like that day.
Actually, I've had some good luck on the 13th.
Oh yeah, yeah. So at the bottom of the film strip, is there a white box around your picture?
Around my picture?
No, Jeffrey.
Oh.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Because when there is, that would... Anyway, it's okay. I was just checking. Okay, Danielle's back. Carry on.
I'm so sorry. What part did you end not hearing from me? You all looked frozen to me, and then it was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm the one that's frozen. It's like...
Yeah, it was you. You're probably... It's probably...
it was technically on my laptop. Yeah, it was my Wi-Fi on my laptop.
Oh, see, we don't use Wi-Fi on you because it's not enough signal strength. You can't get enough juice. We all use cable, the old-fashioned internet cables.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yes, yes.
Yeah. You know those. Anyway, so let's assume you've done a presentation.
Yeah.
Got X amount of material.
Yeah.
How can you use it?
Oh, with the internet these days, so many different ways, right? The first thing is if you're happy with the whole presentation, there you go. You've got something that's a really nice product right there, something that can be an incentive to lead people into workshops. You can offer it as a free product. You can also offer the audio as a separate product. They can pay this much for video, or this much for the audio, or this much for a joint package of the two. So you've got now 3 versions of the same product from just one full-length speech. Then separate from that, you can break it down into like a little mini-series. So we've got all these different web series like your Hangout show, ProSpeak, but many times there's really good mini-series, and you can say, here's a 6-part series on ... You have to sign in to see all 6 parts, and part 1 opens this week, part 2 opens next week, and the next week, and the next week. Then you can use little tidbits that you might not use for the series. You could use it as social media tidbits. Hey, come see me. I just finished doing a speech, and here's a little tidbit of my speech, and you post it on Twitter or on LinkedIn or both. You can even use parts, on LinkedIn we can write articles, and in our blogs we can write articles, and we can post a little part of that speech that reinforces what we've written about in any given article that we've been on. And having a mix of video media in with a written blog really increases viewership and readability, because there's people who love to read, people who love to watch, and every combination. So just remember that it can be broken down into all kinds of little teeny tiny pieces. I also encourage you to have an audio podcast with it. That don't think of video as just one chunk, one visual thing, but you've also got audio as a part of a separate entity. So now you can have audio podcasts, which a lot of people love to throw it into their MP3 player and go for a jog, walk their dog, and listen to whatever it is they're wanting to, increase their knowledge on. And most people aren't listening to music like you think they are on their podcasts, on their iPods. They're listening to self-help audio books, all that kind of stuff. And so your video recording is also an audio recording, and take advantage of that.
Okay, there's a couple of things I never thought of. And so embedding video into an actual blog on both Facebook and that's a good one, because I've got to. Oh, thank you. Oh.
I'm sorry I didn't share that with you earlier. Bad me.
Bad you. Now, Penny, you had a question on what I thought was really interesting.
Well, sometimes, we get invited even to write blogs for other people's site. And then to include a video of ourselves really lets the audience who's reading that blog get to know us personally. And so it's not just a blog that if they forgot to read the byline and who wrote it, they now then get to see visually who the author is of that particular blog. And you can make videos that are embedded in blogs become linkable to websites now, depending on where the original post is of the video. Like if you've posted it to YouTube, you can then make that video be linkable to your website, to any website, a splash page for that matter. And so it becomes even more powerful in directing traffic to where you want them to go. You can control. Suddenly that call to action isn't like some visual, hey, do this at the end of the video. It's an actual click. You can literally force them to go next to some other place.
Yeah. Oh, Penny, I'm interested in your question, Penny.
I do have a question in regards. I have my own hangout show. It's a Hangout with Penny show. It's every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's a fun show. And so I have like 53 episodes already. What could I do to repurpose things from those episodes? And someone that's really lame on technology, could I do these things myself?
Yeah, you could do these things yourself, because your Hangouts is posted on YouTube. Is that right, Penny?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So YouTube also lets you edit inside YouTube itself, lets you edit your videos, but it gives very limited control. So here's what I'd recommend you do, and just move away from YouTube for a moment, is there's 2 editing softwares that are free that come right with whatever hardware you've got. Like if it's a Mac that you've got, there is iMovie that lets you edit, and it's very friendly. If it's a PC that you've got, there is Windows Movie Maker, and Microsoft's done a very good job with that software too. It's very friendly and easy to use. And so what I'm going to suggest you do, 53, how long is your show, Penny? Is it half hour or an hour long?
Ideally they're 30 minutes, but some of them go up to an hour. So, but ideally they're at least 30 minutes.
So you've got anywhere from 20 to 40 hours, 50 hours worth of footage there. It's a lot of work you're going to have to do, but you've done them, so you know what's inside each video. And I recommend, because your subject matter is very interesting to a broad range of people, you could create a highlights package for a Christmas gift to be given to everyone, and you got to get working on this ASAP, because Christmas is like tomorrow, I think. But create a 1-hour bundle that's highlights from your show. People would love that, and they could purchase that as a gift for others, or as a gift for themselves, for that matter.
Oh.
And don't go any more than an hour. And in fact, I would suggest like a little bit like 53 or 52 minutes or something like that. I don't know why, it seems to work better. And remember, you can also have the audio as part of the bundle, right? They could buy video for this much. They could buy the audio for that much, so that you're ready. The MP4, the MP3, and then do you have any bloopers? Then grab
Oh,
a
yeah.
blooper.
They're all part of it. They're all part of it.
Now, also, you could create a bundle that are your favorites, your highlights. That's your 52-minute little thing. You can create a bundle that are the best questions ever asked. Does your audience pop in questions? So
usually after the fact, because it's all recorded and then sent out. So then I'll get things after the fact.
Yes, but they give you questions, don't they? And you then answer them. Do you answer them on video?
Depends on how they've posted the question to me. I'll do it privately, or I'll answer them live. Yeah.
I'm going to suggest that you answer them live from now on, because then you can create a Q&A package. People love those.
Oh, okay.
And the Q&A package would be that each question and then its answer is its own separate video. So that people can go onto your website, they see a little library of favorite questions, and they click onto the video answer of that particular question. Don't put them in one video, because then people will be frustrated trying to fish out where their favorite question is. Each question has to be its own separate video. And then once in a blue moon, take one question and blast it over social media. Right? Oh, here's a question about blah, 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 and watch my video answer. And keep it all on your website so that people have to go to your website to watch the video.
Wow, 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 wow. That's all I can say right now. You have given me some great ideas that never would have ever crossed my mind.
Well, video's extremely powerful, Penny, and it's very, very engaging. It's why we sit in front of the boob tube for 3 hours when we come home from work, right? Because this is the secret that people don't realize is once upon a time, long before radio, long before video, we all sat around our cave, around a campfire, and we told stories. And we watched those stories being told visually. You don't see my hands even moving, right? We're all a little bit the actor. And we all love to be entertained. And this goes back to the way back times of human life. And so we love to have stories being told to us. We love to watch people tell the stories to us. It's why we like keynote speakers. It's why we like hangouts and video and such. So the more you can tell your story visually, the more engaging you are, and the larger the audience you'll bring. And you'll start to develop a fan base, because you'll start to get people to just get to know you and feel like they're friends and like your personality. And next thing you know, you don't have clients, Penny, you've got fans. So you really want to take advantage of video as much as you can. It really is a human thing. We're just hooked on it.
I think that's great advice for Penny, because she's got such a great expression and a great personality. You feel like you're sitting next to her, and you know, she always has a glass of wine, and it's kind of fun.
I noticed that, yeah.
It's very engaging. I think that's a very powerful set of comments.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think about this Periscope and stuff as a video tool? Is it a tool, or is it just another fad?
Oh, I don't know whether Periscope's I don't know. I think time is going to tell. I don't even have too much to say about it, because I'm only just learning about Periscope myself. So I don't have a lot to say too much. We thought Hangouts, Google Hangouts, would be a fad. Look at how popular it is. We thought it was going to come and go. It had so many bugs in the beginning that people would be so frustrated with it. And it still has bugs.
I remember.
And then it still has bugs today, and people just love it. It's so incredibly popular, right? So I really don't know if I can predict what's good or what's coming or going.
Yeah.
The beauty that I just like to add, the beauty about what Google Hangouts did, and they had the bugs, made it really, really, really easy for people like me that were brand new. That, okay, so Google screwed up, so if I screwed up, it was like it was forgivable, and people understood it better, and I think it would opened a whole new avenue for people just like me that were so new at being on video. So, yay!
Well, I think
yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say, too, I brought up YouTube just a little bit, and while people know YouTube, they don't really know what YouTube is capable of doing, and I thought I'd throw a couple of tips to your audience along that line there, Jeffrey, and it's going to involve a couple of links that I'll have to send to Jeffrey, and then, Jeffrey, you can either post them underneath this Hangout in YouTube, or you can even post them to your audience through your next e-newsletter or your blog, whichever. And what it is that YouTube really wants you to build an audience as well. And so there are ways in which you can engage the YouTube gang to promote your video and your channel for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a couple of links. They have, one is their, they have an academy, a little university to teach you how to, and there's some really good stuff in there. And the other one is to actually connect with them, and they talk to you on one of their pages on how to connect with them and get them to literally promote your channel and your YouTubes for free. And when they promote them, they put them on as little ads or little banner ads inside other videos. You don't have to pay a dime for it. But you do have to agree to one thing, and that is that you'll allow advertising to go onto your video. So there's a catch-22. If you don't want advertising to go in front of your video, they won't promote it for free. But if you will let advertising go in front of your video, then there's a gain for them to bring more audience to you, right?
Mm.
So it's something to think about. And if your audience is interested, I'm going to send you the links, Jeffrey, after the show, and share them with your audience.
Yeah, I see Penny nodding. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Thanks.
There's such a. I think the internet is amazing, and I love it. It's allowed me to do so many things, and it's like being one pin in 20 million pins. You know, when you click on a particular subject, Google makes it come up in 1.3 seconds, and then you find there's 22 million hits on that topic. I think video helps us be separate and to establish a personality. I'm not sure. I love Google and I like doing it, but I'm still struggling with this progress. I mean, as I'm almost a test subject for my viewers and watchers. Kind of as ProSpeak. I keep getting these different experts on. So I must say that one of the experiences I had yesterday of doing a live event was how much I got back from the live event, which is so different from the camera. I know that you're live the other way and that Penny's live there, but I was texting and periscoping, and I was so energized because it was an audience. There is no energy that comes back from the camera. What would you recommend for getting energy back from the camera? I mean, I have some ideas of how I mentally set myself up for it. What's your biggest tip? Now, Penny is almost a natural at this. So I'm interested in your answer. And then, Penny, I want you to kick in too, because you're so bloody good at this.
It's just that it factor. That's my opinion, it's that it factor. Because you're absolutely right. I mean, Jeffrey, you were in front of a large audience yesterday, and there they were laughing and applauding and, yelling back at you when you were telling them to yell back at you. And it felt good to have that kind of energy to work with. And it really, I could tell it strengthened you when you were on that stage and you were making them work and you were saying your stories and they were kicking themselves laughing. And you don't get that from the box at all. But you have to trust yourself. You have to be a super pro in front of the camera. You have to really trust that what you're saying is funny and not be afraid to smile and be okay with it. You have to trust that what you're saying is valuable and just carry on and give that energy and give that emotion. You have to be the emotion for yourself and for the audience so that your invisible audience can catch that energy at the other end and be drawn in as opposed to pulled away, tweeting away, and just kind of listening with one ear, right?
Right.
So I think it's about being the little actor and just getting right into game mode, right? For me, because my first career was that of an actor. I don't even think about it anymore. And to be honest, I should probably guide my clients a little bit more with that. Because to me, I just think it should just show up, and it doesn't always just show up.
Yeah, I was doing a whole section on show up, and
I
whether you
know.
like it or not,
That's
you
why I'm
show up,
laughing.
and that
That's
was
you. That's yeah.
yes. So Penny, no, this is a question for Penny. So Penny, you learned to be in front of the camera from Michael Lozier.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get so engaging? Is it the glass of wine that does it?
No, I made it a point to only have a sip of wine on my show, or else I wouldn't get anything that I believe in my message. It wouldn't get out there because I'd be laughing too much. So, but I think what happened was I was invited on to be a regular panelist on Michael Logier's Hangout with Michael show, and once we went live, it was like I have to do it. Like I had to step up. So like Jeffrey, you teach people show up. I had to do it. Or else I could have really made a fool of myself. It was like, oh my gosh. So I just had to remember why I was there and just start to just be myself. Be myself and know that it really is not about me. It's about our message. And when we really believe in our message and we really have something that we want to get our audience, people to be inspired by or to empower them in some way, you got to believe what you're doing. And when you believe that, I think you can just lighten up a little bit, because when you truly believe and trust, like Danielle said, that what you're doing is really valuable, then it makes it easier.
Great.
I think the hardest part, Jeffrey, when we're doing live video is, and I'm thinking as the person behind the camera, is to edit ourselves. I think that's the hardest part. And because I can edit you when it's not live, and I can trim you down and just show the important parts. But how do you edit a live show, right? How do you make sure that, okay, I've said it twice now, I should shut up and let somebody else talk or something like that? Because we do get passionate about our subject matter. Mm-hmm. And it does get difficult to sometimes, if we are that personality that loves to have the audience. And I can't imagine a keynote speaker not loving to have an audience. So when do we,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you're dead right about keynote speakers or anybody who likes an audience. We love the audience. We love the adoration or the attention. I think it's attention and focus, and if we can give something back that is useful, that feels good too. So you're doing good things. I don't know any facilitator, trainer, public speaker, keynote speaker, hangout host that doesn't love the attention that they get and the interaction. That's part of the reward, I think, if you're doing good stuff. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. And I want to say, Danielle, thank you very, very much for your patience and for sharing your wisdom. I'm going to be watching this again so that I can tease out all the bits. And Penny, once again, a brilliant addition, and thank you.
Thank you.
And next week's show, let me tell you about next week's show. We're going to talk about, well, how to be a hangout host, how to actually do this game. and how to have fun with it. And you know, I have a built-in guest that is really good at it, and that's Penny Petty. So, I thought I'd better warn her. And we'll have Penny put up her own name of her own show, and we'll talk about that and how she's approached it. And I'll talk about scripting and mental preparation. And Danielle's already given us some tips about the camera. And I'll talk about my experience with the camera, and hopefully this will help everybody. So don't forget, next week, ProSpeak by Jeffrey, and we're going to say goodbye and thank you very much. See you next week. It's going to be, next week is about in front of the camera. All right. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.